Sup nerds, here's my Magnamon X Vaccine deck profile updated for BT17. Starting off with our Tama, we are playing 4 BT14 Tokamon. Your turn once per turn. When a card is added to your security stack, draw 1. This is much needed draw power you need in the deck. It's my favorite one. And then we are playing a 1 of EX6 Cupimon. When attacking once per turn, by adding the top card of your security stack to the hand, you may place 1 Digimon card with the Angel, Archangel, or 3 Great Angels trait from your hand at the bottom of your security stack. So this is effectively my Nyaromon. This lets you trigger your Magna X on the swing, but instead of trashing a card and gaining a memory, you get to add a free card to your hand. And spoilers, are actually not playing any Angel, Archangel, or 3 Great Angels in the deck, so you'll never be able to finish resolving this, but it'll always give you a free card from the top of your security, and you'll be able to trigger your Magna X on the swing, which is the most important thing. But I valued getting a free card over gaining 1 memory for my choice for my 5th Tama, but that is it. You guys might be able to guess why we're playing 5 Tamas, but I'll enlighten those that have not figured it out yet once we get there. 4 Patamons. Start your main phase, search your security stack. This Digimon may digivolve into a yellow Digimon card with the vaccine trait among them without paying the cost, and shuffle your security stack. If evoed by this effect, you may place 1 yellow card with the vaccine trait from your hand at the bottom of your security stack. And then your turn once per turn, when a card is added to your security stack, gain 1 memory. If you do this, you do gain this memory off of the Evo, which is really cool. This is the guy we want to dig to early and often. I basically redesigned this to where like I'm trying to Patamon you every single turn, and I'm trying to get this guy in my raising area as soon as possible. To help facilitate that, we are playing 4 BT16 Ukomons. Evos for 1 memory. Your turn, once per turn, when one of your Digimon moves from the breeding area to the battle area, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add a Digimon or Tamer among them, put the rest on the bottom of your deck, then you may hatch in your breeding area. So we actually hard mulligan for one of these 2 cards. Ideally you open both, but that's not always going to happen, but getting one of these 2 cards and raising, and then this is basically another chance at Patamon, and also if you like draw into it, it'll just let you set up a Patamon on the following turn as opposed to waiting 2 full turns in order to hatch and then promote a Patamon. After playing it, I did like it. However, I felt like you needed to fully lean into this, and so I just maxed this out and cut most of my other rookies. So we are also still playing a couple of other yellow rookies. 3 Pillamons. For BT9, all turns players can't pay Digimon by effects. We don't play Digimon by effects besides 1 card in here, but that's barely ever going to go off. This is one of the control aspects of this deck. We want our opponents to not do unfair stuff on their turn, or any turn, since this is all turns. So this is the best one to do that. Turns off all the dual Tamers that let you play dudes for free. Kind of hurts a couple of decks. It can stop Unga Bunga from popping off on you if you just play this a past turn. It is actually not that good versus the new Finralugomon deck, because they pop this guy going up into their Mega, and they can pop this very easily. Like, this actually doesn't do anything versus Finralugomon, which is kind of disappointing, but it does hurt like a lot of other decks. We don't really ever want to Evo this guy in raising. Obviously you're forced to sometimes, but this guy is purely just a hard play. And we're playing 3 just to see it often enough to where we can stop our opponents from doing stuff. That is it. We're just playing 11 rookies. On to our champions. We are playing 4 BT8 Rapidmon. Evos for 4 or for free on top of Patamon if you promote it. Armor Purge. When digivolving, for each of your Tamers, suspend 1 of your opponent's Digimon, then up to 3 of your opponent's suspended Digimon get minus 5,000 DP for the turn. One of the best level 4s you can Evo into for free from Patamon. And then we are playing 4 started X17 Rapids, Blocker and Armor Purge. And then all turns once per turn, when this Digimon becomes suspended, 1 of your opponent's Digimon and all of their security Digimon get minus 4,000 DP until the end of their turn. That's pretty nice. And then inheritable all turns while this Digimon is suspended, it gets 1,000 DP. This is actually it. This deck is designed to high roll, quote, high roll your opponent. You're basically just trying to get to the mid game as quick as possible, with Patamon promoting out of breeding with one of these in security. The Ukomons help facilitate that, and honestly, I see these randomly in my security a little more often than when I was playing 10 champions. Kind of weird, but that is it. We're just playing 8 of these guys. And then on to our ultimates. We're not playing any. There are no level 5s in my deck, Kaiba. Onto our Megas. We are playing 2 Rapid X's. Evos for 4 on top of Rapidmon, which is nice. That is the only way you can Evo this card in this deck, since we're not playing level 5s. Armor Purge, and then when digivolving, suspend all of your opponent's Digimon, then this Digimon may attack. All turns while Rapidmon or Antibody is in this Digimon's sources, all of your opponent's suspended Digimon get minus 4k. And then all turns once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted in battle or by having 0 DP, gain 2 memory. Very nice effect. And then we are, of course, playing the namesake of the deck, 4 Magna X's. Just drop those on top of those. Does Evo for 4 or whatever, but that's literally not how we Evo into this guy, so just ignore that. Blocker, Armor Purge. When Digivolving, if Magnamon X or an Armor Form trait card is in this Digimon's sources, until the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon gets 3000 DP and isn't affected by your opponent's effects, then unsuspend it. All turns once per turn, when a card is moved from a security stack, you may activate one of this Digimon's When Digivolving effects. So you just get to trigger it every single turn. That's the whole point. So the reason why we're not playing level 5s is to cut some of the fluff in the deck, since they're actually not that good this format. Through my testing, I found them very lackluster. Both of these guys, you have alternate Evo conditions where you literally don't need to see level 5s in this deck. So I just cut all of them. So we're just playing 6 level 6s. And then on to our 7s, we're playing a couple. We are playing 2 Shine Greymon Ruin Mode from EX4. Does Evo for 5 on top of our Megas. When Digivolving / on deletion until the end of your opponent's turn. All of your opponent's Digimon get minus 5000 DP. End of attack, delete this Digimon and one of your opponent's Digimon, then recover +1. Then if you have a Tamer in play, hatch a Digi-Egg in your empty space in your breeding area. So this is another form of control that we have in this deck, the Pillamons, and then this guy. This guy can just straight up block your opponent out of an entire turn. What's really fun is if you have a memory boost set up and you already started your turn at 3 memory, you poke once with this guy, unsuspend from his effect, pop the mem boost, Evo into this guy, and then swing again, and then you double ruin mode your opponent while swinging twice, which is really nice. That pretty much locks basically any deck out of playing on their next turn. And then we are playing a couple of aces. We are playing 1 Shy Greymon Burst Mode from BT17. It does Evo for 5 on top of our Megas. It is a 8 to hard play, which is actually pretty nice. And then on play / when Digivolving, you may play 1 Tamer card from your hand without paying the cost. Then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5000 DP for the turn for each Tamer you have in play. And then also when attacking, by suspending up to 2 of your yellow Tamers, for each one this Digimon gains security attack +1 for the turn. So you can swing and then tap 2 yellow Tamers and get 3 checks. Really quick way to close out a game if you end up slamming this guy on somebody. What's really nice is this guy's effectively like a Wyvern's Breath most of the time, because you'll have usually 2 Tamers in play. You play this, play a third, minus 15k on something. It's going to clear most bodies. Hard slamming this guy's not even that bad, but being able to ace on top of this guy, who's obviously like your opponent's not really going to have a good way of interacting with this. So it basically like guarantees you have a level 7 ace play, which is really cool. And another reason why we're playing another ace card, Imperial Dramon Paladin Mode Ace. This guy evos for 6 on top of both of our Megas. Also, just as a reminder, both of these guys can evo on top of our Megas, because Rapid X is green and yellow, and Magnamon X being yellow, blue, and black. Works with both of them, which is really nice. On play / when Digivolving, trash all of your opponent's sources and then return all cards in your or your opponent's trash to the bottom of the deck. If this effect returned a level 7 white card, gain 3 memory. That's pretty nice. And then when attacking, not once per turn, by returning one of your opponent's Digimon with no sources to the bottom of the deck, unsuspend this Digimon. This is pretty nasty. I really wanted to play 2 of one of these and none of the other, but honestly, they're both so situational that I decided just to play 1 and 1. And honestly, they both come up versus a lot of things. Like I just played against a Dex Daruga player. He swung at me with his level 5 and he thought he was about to like pop off. Actually, I think he swung with his level 6. I'm sorry. Thought he was about to pop off on me because I think I just had a Rapidmon on the field. And he's like, swing, collision. And I was like, Evo into this guy, bot deck all your stuff. Oh yeah, block. And then this guy just died. Pretty strong. This is good against Fenrir Lugamon, good against Demon Lords, good against a lot of stuff. And if your opponent goes like super wide on you and you go into this guy and they can't clear it, which most of the time if you're evoing on top of Magnamon X, they can't interact with it, you potentially could just lethal them on your turn because of the not once per turn when attacking effect. If they have like a bunch of dudes and no sources, you're just like swing, 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 swing. But also this guy lets you close out games as well. So that is it. We're just playing 4 level 7s. On to the last control aspect, or I guess stun? I don't know, whatever you guys want to call it. We are playing 4 Digimon Emperors from BT8. All turns, when an opponent's Digimon, when one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon is deleted, you may suspend this Tamer to draw 1. Really useful, and probably an underrated part of this card, is that extra draw power is so helpful. Then opponent's turn, when one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon is moved from their breeding area to their battle area, gain 2 memory. This dunks on decks that are relying solely on the Ukomon engine, because you can basically just lock them out of their breeding area if you just get 2 of these in play, or just 1 and choke them to 1. If they promote, they just pass turn. The more the merrier. That's why I'm playing 4. I want to see this early and often versus like basically all the good decks, all the tier 1 decks. This card just really helps slow them down, which is really all you need with this deck. And then we are playing 4 TK Takashi from BT14. On play, by returning the top card of your security stack to the hand, you may place 1 yellow card with a vaccine trait from your hand at the bottom of your security stack. Your turn, when a card is added to your security stack, by suspending this Tamer, gain 1 memory. This is how you set up your Patamon. This is also really cool if you have Ruin Mode on the field and swing with it. You actually just get to gain free memory off of these guys and any Patamon inheritables you have on the field. And then for BT1 TK Takashi. So we're playing 12 Tamers in this deck. So a lot of people play 2, 3, sometimes even 1 of this card, which I think is kind of wild. So this guy's a memory setter. And on play, look at your security stack, then reveal 1 card in it, add it to your hand. If it was yellow, recover +1, then shuffle your security stack. So I treat this guy basically like another mem boost kind of deal. Because like the first one you see does set your memory to 3 until he gets deleted by something. But it also gets to look at your second hand, which is going to be 5 cards at the beginning of the game, and add a card, any card. You just only get to recover if it's yellow. We are playing quite a few. I think it's 9 non-yellow cards in this deck. So there are sometimes you'll be forced to add a card that's not yellow. But sometimes I've added Ukamon off this before to not get the recovery, and it doesn't feel bad. But I'm playing 4 just because like this sets you up so much that I really want to open with this. Like opening this with Patamon is really strong. Going second, opening this with Ukamon still feels pretty good. So I want to see this guy early and often. Also, the more Tamers we play, the more Shine Greymon Burst Mode doo-doos on something, which is always nice. And that is it. We're just playing 12 Tamers. On to our options. We are actually running 1 Emissary of Hope from BT14, 1 cost option. Search your security stack. 1 of your Digimon may digivolve into 1 yellow 6 or lower Digimon card with the vaccine trait, yellow level 6 with the vaccine trait among them without paying the cost. Then shuffle your security stack. If digivolved by this effect, if you have a Tamer with TK in its name, recover +1. And the security effect is you may play 1 Patamon from your hand or trash without paying the cost and add this card to your hand. So the reason why this wasn't in basically I think any iteration I've ever put on the channel of the yellow vaccine deck up to this point is because this card felt so bad when it clogged your hand. Because this is a combo card, you need something else to be set up and also something on the field in order for this card to even do anything. So it really felt bad when I had like 2 or 3 of these in my hand whenever I'd be testing each format. Because I put this card in at the beginning of every single format, tested it, and then slowly cut it down all the way to 0. But I found that I really just don't like it when I have multiple of these in my hand. But if I only ever have a chance to have 1 of these in my hand, it's actually not that bad. And it does come up. Obviously, this card's really good. I just really didn't like it whenever I didn't have anything else going on. And I just had like 2 or 3 of these in my hand. It just felt really bad. Like, this is kind of like a win more card, but it's really more like just a combo card. Like, you do need other things set up before you can really capitalize on this card. So we are just playing the 1. That way I never brick on it. If I see it, I see it. If I don't, I don't. Usually, if you make it to the mid game, a lot of times you will see this card. And if you activate Paladin mode, you can bot deck this and activate it a second time. I've actually done that, where I've activated the same card twice in one game. Then we are playing 3 Awakening of the Golden Knight from BT9. Main, you may digivolve 1 of your Digimon with Armor Form and its traits into a Digimon card with Magnamon in its name, ignoring its Evo cost, whatever. The Digimon that digivolved by this effect can't have its DP reduced by your opponent's effects until the end of your opponent's turn. That's completely irrelevant since we're evoing in a Magnex who's immune to everything. And security is return 1 card with Magnamon in its name from your trash to your hand, then add this card to your hand. So this is functionally our level 5s in the deck. This is how you go from an armor form to Magnamon for 3 memory. I'm always going to play 4 of this unless it gets limited. This is like one of the best cards in the deck. You really want to see this early and often. That's why I do not want to cut it down from 4. And then we're playing 4 Yellow Memory Boost promo. Main, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add a yellow Digimon card among them to your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Then place this card in the battle area. Main, delay, trash this card, gain 2 memory. Security, place this card in the battle area. I once again still do not want training cards in this deck. I would rather have the memory boost because I want to be able to search 4 cards deep as opposed to 2 cards deep. Yes, you can bot deck your Tamers and your non-yellow Digimon cards with this, as well as your options, but I really don't care about that. I'm playing for this, so I don't mind if it gets bot decked, and I do not care if this gets bot decked. like I said, if I draw it, I draw it. If I don't, don't really care. I just never want to have more than one in my hand. But I still want to play this. Also, Imperial is going to be very popular this format. You do not want to have a training in your battle area whenever they have the new Imperial Dramon that can like basically ace you if you trigger a training card. But that is it. We were just playing 9 options. But that is it for the list. I will say after testing the Ukomons, I always knew why people ran them, and I can see the appeal. However, I feel like if you are playing any number of Ukos, you might as well just go balls to the wall and play 4 of them, like I ended up doing. Because basically, this deck is kind of Patamon or bust, especially the way it's built now, like it's obviously Patamon or bust. And I think getting to your Patamon as quickly and consistently as possible is like your main goal. So I feel like if you do play any number of Ukomons, you should just commit to 4. But if you guys have any questions, anything I didn't address, feel free to leave them down in the comments. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. Want to come back for more. But until next time, see ya.